Good morning. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Obalde. We are back again on another edition of QTV this morning. Wherever you're watching this program, we're saying thank you very much and a cup of coffee to you and your loved ones. So I'm with Julde Njai on the program. Julde, good morning.
Good morning, Ibrahim. Good morning to our viewers and good morning to our newspaper review guests.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Unlike yesterday, I'm fine today.
Yes, you are okay today.
Yes,
yesterday was rainy in the morning and people to access their workplaces was
crazy.
It was very hard.
Was.
I can imagine even if you are on a vehicle how difficult it is than, if you're taking public transport. It's hard. It's hard. But it is what it is. We have to get to our place of work.
Yes.
Always. Yeah, so our newspaper review guest is no other than Seth Mati Jau. Seth Mati.
Morning, Mr. Bale. Yes, morning.
How have you been?
I've been good. I've been really good. Just been busy.
Nice, nice.
Traveling around, yes.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
You just mentioned, I think you're in Basse?
Yes, yes. I've been.
What was happening in Basse?
No, I've been doing this consultancy work for the UNDP, where I've been training the village development committees and also ward development committees in 4 regions: Banjul, Kanifing, Birkama, and Basse. So I've been busy doing that these days, working with the grassroots governance structures, which have been really, really nice. And Basse was amazing. I mean, in the session we were speaking about 3 languages. That was really interesting for me, and so it's been a good one.
Of course, Basse it's a mixed, society when it comes to these languages. So, But I hope it was a great session.
No, it was a good one, and I think it was something that was really needed because, of course, when we look at our governance structure, we usually forget that the VDCs are the entry points to development in the community. There are a lot of issues, capacity-wise, and many others, and I think that's the intention of what I was doing, trying to help build that capacity for them to understand their roles and how they can engage, but more so how they can play the role that they envisage to play within our governance structure. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done, and I think this should be a good start to be engaging them more at the grassroots level.
Right. So what's up with at the organizational level?
Yes, CRPD is there. Yes, we are still there. We're doing research. We're doing research as usual, but not only research, but being part of the advocacy space. So we're still managing at that level, building partnership, working on our new strategic plan. Trying to see how best we can support the transition. But beyond the transition, the wider governance framework. Yeah.
That's tough.
Of course, because now I'm confused whether we are transitioning or not. So, yeah, but then that was the intention of us coming up because, of course, after 22 years of dictatorship, so it's important that we set new priorities, new goals, and trying to see how to move that. But of course, I mean, it's either overtaken by time or there are a lot of challenges to that. But
yeah, exactly. We'll take a look at the African Code now before we head to some of the stories on the newspaper. And we also have a press release from the Gambia Police Force. And we'll be looking at that as well. So let's head to the African Code, Julde.
So it says it's a Fulani one. Yesterday we had a Mandinka one.
Oh, nice.
So it reads, when you dig a trapping pit for your enemy, do not dig too deep because you never
Make sure it is not deep.
Exactly, because you never know. What do you make of that proverb?
I mean, that's an interesting one. I mean, it's similar to like as you make your bed, so you should lie on it or something like that. But people don't know what tomorrow brings usually. So sometimes, you have an intention of hurting somebody, but the issue can easily backfire. And when it backfires, then you can get hurt. Imagine if you dig a pit that nobody can, pull you out. From, then it means like you dig your own grave. So for me, I think the saying is just to saying you can have issues with people, but you know what steps you need to take, and be careful that it might backfire on you, or it might, you know, you might fall victim of your own plans as well. So I mean, always think good. For me, in a nutshell,
positive.
Yeah, but it's a Fulani one, so maybe Balde.
Is this a proverb that is trying to justify that Fulani and Jamfa? You know? they keep attributing Jamfa to us.
I think that's a stereotype. I mean,
they keep attributing Jamfa to the Fulani. So then they're like, I mean, the Fulani people, they jump a lot. So I hope we are not talking to ourselves. Be careful.
Well, that's a good one, too. Well, that's a good one. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's telling you, you have to be careful. You never know what the future brings.
Yes.
I mean, you never know where you're going to end up. I mean, the other day I was talking to my brother. We were taking example of people who were doing very good, I mean, in the past. But now things change. I mean, if there was a better plan for those people, it would have been very, very difficult, you understand? So it's better to be prepared. It's better to have a contingency plan to make sure once something happens, you are definitely on your feet. That's my interpretation.
I totally agree with both of you. I mean, if you're digging a pit for your enemy, make sure that you dig something moderate, because you might fall into it. And this is, you know, typical, because in our societies, you know, communities, families, even workplaces, we've seen that people tend to victimize other people, and at the end of the day, you know, in the future, they relied on the same people that they tend to victimize. So whatever you're doing, whether you are a family, in a community, a friend, or a boss, make sure that when you're doing something, you know, limited, because nobody knows what happens tomorrow. You know, the tables can turn at any given time. True. Nobody knows. So Motahid is very, very important that, you know, when you're doing stuff, you moderate it.
Even within our political system, if you look at it like you look at the 1997 Constitution, especially with the case of maybe to push to that because of Yankuba Toure, and you know the people that created the 1997 Constitution trying to protect themselves, but things change, and now you know he's in jail, for instance. So sometimes like you can use this kind of. What I like about proverbs is like you can use it to help explain various situations and real life context. But the issue, the bottom line is one has to be careful.
Exactly.
You know, one has to be careful.
You never know what will happen.
Of course.
You know, we have seen brighter examples within our society. I mean, if you don't take your time on certain things, at the end of the time, you know, you find yourself in trouble. So it's better to be careful. So viewers will take a short break, and after the break then we'll take a look at some of the stories on the newspapers. So we'll be back.
Money Johnny webini nuldugol mbudi mi yetoma Johnny ida wawi nuldude mbudi irako Gambia do yaha Senegal e Q Money wallet mount e ko hon wonda e fadde mi yetoma uduto Q Money account ma on Johnny fuddoda nuldude mbudi e teribe ma e wadon ka Orange Money nder Senegal fi yebugol hen ko labi ida wawi nuldude Q Money customer care e 133 Q Money suñu kalpe dum no yadi e sartaji.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care, with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia, or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, 124. Basse 7767 125. Opticalia. Love what you see and hear.
We are back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Obalde. Now let's head to the Standard newspaper. On the main headline of the Standard newspaper, Halifa tells Barrow AGCC should remain in office, from a veteran politician, Halifa Sallah. I mean, we've seen his press release. He said quite very interesting things, you know, on that press release, said Mati. Should AG still remain in office?
I mean, of course, I think generally people agree on that, that he is the, you know, his office is a constitutional office and there are procedures to remove him, and not just because, you know, the kind of controversy that we have seen recently. And so, based on the law, the way people interpret it and all that, it is generally agreed that he should stay. People believe he has been doing good work. He's been, he has basically help transform that institution, and to reform, to remove him the way it has been done, it is seen as a very undemocratic practice, and is seen as a violation of the constitution. And I think we've seen quite a number of people reacting to that, and Halifa being the latest, you know, giving proper advice that, I mean, you know, he should remain in his office until. You know, there are procedures in which the laws have stated in which he should be removed. But so far, what we've seen, the optics are not even okay for our democratic transition that we're talking about. Seeing the police going in, you know, picking him up. It's not giving good signals to our democratic trajectory.
For me, I am just concerned to know, okay, you've given me an appointment. I don't want the appointment. I'm okay with what I'm doing. Does that warrant me to leave my position by force?
No, not at all. I mean, and this is where the issue is, because and this is what most people are also saying. Like, you appoint me, I don't want it. So what is the issue now? And so. And that's why people are reading deeper into the issue, that perhaps he's doing some good work, he's investigating some institution that the government don't want to be investigated. That's why, whether that is true or not, but these are the kind of insinuation, especially on this case, that people are bringing forward. And so those are things that, like I said, would create bad optics, you know, both for the government, but also for our broader transitional democratic process. And yes, people can have the choice to pick any job, and they have the right to refuse any job as well. I mean, is their prerogative.
Interesting. We still have another headline on the Standard, which I found quite interesting. Gambian deported from US to Ghana repatriated to Banjul, and according to the officials, Ghanaian officials, they are saying that they did this based on humanitarian grounds. You know.
I mean, people can give so many excuses. I mean, like, you mean America cannot deport people directly to the Gambia? To the Gambia. I mean, so those are. I mean, what I say here is African countries, some countries trying to create this good image for America and all those different stuff. I mean, America has the right to deport anyone that they want to deport, but let them follow due process. Let them, you know, discuss with the country, and then the receiving country to be able to receive that.
Exactly.
Likewise, we are deporting people, so they have the right to deport, but to use other countries saying humanitarian, what humanitarian grounds?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now they have to, are they going to give that person job, take care of that person?
No,
but they're further repatriating them to
Yeah.
Gambia.
Right.
So sometimes I think this is also might create some, you know, disconnect between African countries itself, and they have to have an approach to that. If America wants to repatriate, let them send it to the countries that they are supposed to, where these individuals are.
Probably sending them to the Gambia would be much, difficult. Maybe the process before it's accepted.
But that's not Ghana's business.
Yeah.
Maybe it's easier
I mean, to just send it to Ghana, and then they will come back to Ghana.
Why would you send somebody to a country that they're not from? They have nothing, they have
that is the
no
thing.
idea. But, you know, they don't want them to even to stay in Ghana, so they have to further push them back to
the
the
Gambia.
Nigerian authorities, because the 13 people are from Nigeria, and the Nigerian authorities are claiming that they were not brief about this whole repatriation issue. And I don't know that of Gambia, because Gambia, they have only one, deported only one individual. You know, it's crazy. And the officials want to defend their decision, because they said that, in court, we should rather be seen as a country that wants to look out for its fellow Africans. That is why we made it clear to the Americans that we will not accept $1, the minister said.
I mean, whether you accept money or not, I mean, it's not about that. In fact, you know, then Ghana wants to receive all the people that are likely to be deported to Ghana.
Not just America, but other countries as
so
well.
So they're also creating like cost for themselves, because if you want to repatriate other people, it's a cost for the country. You're not receiving $1 from America, but you also
it doesn't make sense.
Money. It doesn't make sense.
And for the fact that you are not consulting the host countries, you know, it's a bit.
And I saw also that you know, some of these people are taking American government to court for deporting them to, you know, that country or some country that they have no idea. I mean, sometimes is how do we do the right thing in a way, you know, that will not create some tensions between countries and all that. You know, why would you accept some other citizens?
Probably there is a hiding agenda that we didn't know.
Of course, in most cases,
there
must be some deals that. But of course, that could be part of it. But I mean, now these guys are taking the issue to court. Let them, you know, sue the government and see what comes out of it.
Yeah, and we'll be interested to see what the reaction of the Gambian government will be.
That will be interesting
as far as this is concerned. So another story, still on the Standard, NAM's query on unilateral pay rise for judges.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there was a big mistake from the side of government. I mean, because at least we know for a fact that they have tried to increase this through legal procedure, going to the National Assembly to seek approval, both through a bill, but and now, you know, we saw that they decided to increase the pay without National Assembly approval, and now they're seeking to retroactively legitimize this action. So this kind of issues needs to be avoided within the country. I mean, you've been trying, and now even there's a bill before the parliament for the same issue, and so we should always do the right thing, and no matter how difficult it is in terms of the democratic process. I mean, we should continue to use that instead of you know, going behind the scene and fixing things. You pay people things that have not been approved in the National Assembly. So it begs the question whether even the government is listening to the National Assembly or is following due process that has been established by law and our procedure. So for me, I think this was very disappointing to see. Of course, everybody agrees that, for me personally, I agree that the judges and courts, everybody needs to be paid, remunerated very well. You know, because we are talking about people, the last gut when it comes to the issue, because it's a separate institution when it comes to the checks and balances. So they need to be paid very well, and so that's a justification. And I remember the last time the National Assembly rejected the bill, I criticized that. I said, why would you do that? Because you know, because people are just talking about, oh, why is the judges being paid that much? But they deserve that. They deserve to, everybody that works in government deserve to go
be paid.
well paid, whether
Absolutely.
the police, whoever it is. They deserve to be paid well. Otherwise, you know, you're encouraging issues around corruption and other issues. Those things are not fair, and so they have to follow the due process of the law to ensure that that thing happens. But not to go behind it, because you're also breaking the law, and that's not fair. Yeah.
So another one.
It's not on the side of government these days.
Yeah.
I mean, they're taking decisions. I mean, like, you need to know times of change. People are following, things are happening. We're talking about democracy. This is what government sold to people, and people accept that. And so if you want to live in a democratic society, and you have to ensure that there is democratic governance. And democratic governance is the rule of law, that the rule of law rules all of us. And on that basis, everything has to be transparent. There needs to be that issue of accountability. All those things have to be there.
Right.
But you cannot say accountability here and then you do things otherwise. People will cry foul. And these are the things. This is the responsibility of citizens also to raise issues. This is the responsibility of Parliament to be angry at the government for not, following due process.
Right. So the
a gang of
release?
yes. Before that,
Okay.
let's do a gang of 16 remanded for theft and assault at Mile 2. This gang thing, it's still the Standards newspaper.
Okay.
There was a time around the Welingara, the Sinchu, was more prevalent. I mean, you see gang wars, between two gangs. So it's becoming a problem. I think there should be a solution.
Yeah, I mean, I first saw this issue of gangs, I think, in a 2019 survey that we did around security issues. And then people were raising this issue of gangs. I said, what gangs in Gambia? What are gangs? And I didn't know that, and now it seems like it's becoming problematic, and now they're on the national agenda and even being arrested, creating, all these different problems for society.
Right.
I mean, like, you look at it, yes, you can see the issue of criminality is getting up, and if it is not a nip on the bud, it's going to create more issues, because right now it's just kids that are organizing themselves in that way.
Right.
But these things have to be addressed, and the way it should be addressed is also both from the family level. Who are these? What's the background of these people? Where they're coming from? Those are things that needs to be looked into. And then, of course, there's that security element that has to be addressed. But why is it that we're having these issues now taking shape in our country? Because we're talking about issues of drugs, issues of, and of course, gangs, wherever they exist, there's a high likelihood that...
and drifters.
Yeah, of course, that's also another...
Pandemic.
They also could be termed as gangs with the outlaws. I mean, so our country is changing. But are we sitting down to try to understand these changes that are happening, especially within the younger generation? It seems like we're neglecting, the future generation of this country, and that's why some of these things, they find ways to, to seek relevance, and organizing through gangs or some other mechanisms become the issue. But how do we understand that this phenomenon, socially, psychologically, and try to address that should be the way forward.
It's important.
Exactly. I mean, I can see,
So
I don't know, now I'm not seeing anything that has to do with drifting now. I mean, since the sentencing
for now, yes.
of these young people.
Of course. I mean, like, I mean, it sometimes, because also sometimes you blame the police traffic, the laws, but not the traffic act, before initially it was very difficult to find people and all those different stuff, or you give them minimal fine as per the law. But I heard that in recent times they're trying to review that. But of course, with the incidents that cause harm, those ones, people agree with the sentencing, that at some point we need to stop what they were doing. The other day I was coming through Kutu and I saw this guy. I said, okay, this is what they're talking about in terms of the drifting. That was so dangerous. I mean, and you are on your own. You can do what you want to do in your own private setting, but to endanger the public, I mean, that should not be tolerated.
Absolutely.
So take us through the press release.
So the press release from the Gambia Police Force, let me just read a few lines. The Gambia Police Force acknowledged recipient of the copies of permit requests from Gala submitted under less than 24 hours notice for consideration. Meanwhile, the police are closely monitoring multiple controversial social media posts from the same group threatening to embark on 3 consecutive days of protests with or without police permit over demands that directly touch on matters of national security.
I mean, we are back to the issue of protest again.
Yes.
I mean, protest is a right. It's part of the democratic process. And of course, within our laws, it has to be within a set framework where you need to get permit from the police. And I think they apply for that. But what the police is also saying is that they just did it yesterday and they plan to protest today. And so they have to, they want to screen them and do all those different stuff. I mean, but for me, this is a structural problem, and this is what I was saying initially.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, times of change, people feel especially young people, they want to be heard, and protest is one mechanism that they see as the best way to express themselves, to be part of the democratic process. But you have these archaic laws that are also there, saying that you have to do this, you have to do that.
Right.
So which is seen to be not in line with the democratic process. And I think these are the structural issues that need to be addressed. From the legal, from the law reform, so that we can have a society that believes in democracy, that lives in democracy, but that also practice democracy. And so usually I'm not really happy when I see the police, and the police are doing their job in one side if you look at it, but the protesters also have a right that they want to live. So how do we manage this kind of situation, for me, is usually the big question that we have not been able to answer as a so-called democratizing country. And so it has to be on the agenda.
To look at the Public Order Act that they
definitely
mostly rely on.
I say, like, our problem today is mostly structural. We want to live in a democracy, but what is supporting that democratic process is slightly lacking. Protest is part and parcel of the democratic process. But then you have a colonial Public Order Act that limits that that freedom, and so people will have to be pushing and pulling, sometimes unnecessarily. So the best way is to review the law, to amend it so that people can enjoy their democratic freedom, and also the police will have less work to do when it comes to those issues. But right now, they are armed to the teeth, waiting for people to come, get arrested, taken, and then people will, it doesn't really make sense. So sometimes you need to organize society so that people can, live in a conducive environment. Yeah.
And the issue of we are following orders, it's coming from the top, because what we've seen currently, the issue with the Pura issue, that is currently in court, one of them was like, I was following orders. Whether it's lawful or not, he does not care to know about that, according to the
because I also think we need to learn a lot. Since the transition in 2017, one of the things that we did was the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And we've seen, and the issue of the Public Order Act particularly was one of those recommendations. To need to review that was one of those recommendations. And this issue of following order or not, yes, you can follow order today, but whether legal or not, there's a high likelihood that you might come and answer for that. But what is encouraged is that people must always, the order must be right. The people that are also implementing that order also must be right. But of course, there's a huge gap in terms of democratic policing in the country, because of course the police have to relearn some of these issues, and still we are faced with this context. People usually say I'm biased towards the security forces, but sometimes it's the structural issues that limits them, but also the demand that is also coming, and those things need to be reconciled for me to be able to move forward as a country, and that should be the focus. There are a lot of lessons that we have learned over the period. We need to be intentional in terms of saying that we want to move away from the past into a democratic future.
We've also seen Uganda's President Museveni appealing on a video that he should be given one more chance because he got something to complete.
The young people
He's ruled Uganda for 39 years, and now he said one more chance, he got a job to complete. So he won't contest again.
Museveni will never complete. After that he will say, okay, there's a pending issue that I have to complete again. He's not interested in leaving office. So that's the issue. That's the issue for Museveni. I think he came to power when I was like 1 year old, and now look at me, and still I'm with my gray hair and all that, and still he's in power. So. And this speaks to the broader issue of term limits in Africa, and for him, I don't see the interest. But he's also doing it in a way that is so violent, arresting opposition, torturing, even killing. And it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, so, let's see what will happen, whether Uganda people will still give him a chance, because what I know is if you did not do anything if you didn't complete your job in 39 years.
These guys know how to rig elections. They've been rigging elections. So those are issues that are also, part of the conversation. I mean, so whether they give him chance or not, he'll take it. And those are the things that are problematic for many African countries. The way elections are conducted is usually not free, not fair. And even the outcome, even if the people decide, they change the system, So,
Said Marty, 2026 election, are you foreseeing a coalition?
Yeah, there's already yesterday, there's already a coalition in terms of the MPP Grand Coalition. There's also yesterday, or day before yesterday, I saw this new Gano yeah, so there's a whole likelihood that, political parties might start thinking strategically and tactically to see how they can align.
Right.
And Gambia coalition has been part of our political conversation prior to independence. Even 2016, clear example of a successful coalition. And so it should be expected that political parties are likely to organize and through their own tactics. So what the nature of the coalition and whether they will be elected by the people and who is going to be there, that's also another issue. And I also saw Gambia participate survey that also points to the fact that people are also expecting the possibility of coalition. But already there is NPP Grand Coalition and other people are moving towards that. And yeah.
So the issue of the baby that died due to female FGM, it's, the authorities are, currently investigating to know. Recently we've seen I think this is the second baby.
Yes.
And definitely it's really claiming lives now. I think it's important for us to see what to do.
I think I've been part of the FGF movement for a very long time, and I think this is one of the risks that we tell people that, there's a high likelihood that it can lead to death.
Exactly.
Beyond that, there are other harmful, that's why it is called a harmful practice. It's not only the other challenges that these young girls go through, but also the issue of possible death.
Yes.
And I think what we are seeing now is a clear indication that the issues that we have been raising, the reason why we've been arguing for a law to deter that is real. And of course, people, will push and pull here and there, but the realities on the ground is that FGM is harmful, and it should be. I am totally in for its eradication, and it should be done in that way. There is no joke about it. Like a kid that has no idea of what is happening and now just dying like that. Yeah. That's a serious issue, and the country must not take it lightly. It must ensure that due process of the law is followed.
But now the issue of FGM, it's a very critical one. Religious leaders will be at the other side telling you, this is what we have to practice, and the law is telling you to, this is not what you have to do. It's not good.
The current reality of our country is that we are seeing the harm, and when you see the harm, what you need to do is to try to prevent that harm. And for me, that's the duty of any responsible state. There are so many laws. Not everybody agrees on those laws. Yes. But then the reality is, what is the general well-being of society, and that's what need to be focused on. And people will disagree on that. Sometimes they come in terms of this conceptual divination, circumcision, mutilation. Yeah. But now they are cut in parts and people are dying. So those are the issues that need to be focused on. It's not what people want. If everything about what we want, we need to protect lives. And for me, I think that's what is most important here.
Absolutely.
And I don't think any religion say you shouldn't protect life.
No, there is no. So on the Foroya newspaper, fair play or free ride, tuk-tuk's tax status under scrutiny as business struggles in Gambia.
Yeah, this has been a control. Yeah, this keke. When they started, we used to call them bike cars. Now it's tuk-tuk, keke. The names has evolved. Initially, I think the police tried to stop them, but then there was this public demand to allow them to engage. But now there are too many as well, so they're also creating problems.
Yes.
Taxis are complaining because they run through certain areas. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know what needs to be done.
Should be compromised.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
To some extent.
So let them organize and try to figure out what needs to be done with that, because people that are running the KK, they're also looking for their means of survival, just like taxi drivers as well are doing that for their own survival. But there needs to be some sort of regulations, perhaps. Maybe just limit them to certain areas while the taxis operate more broadly.
Yes.
Yeah, because last time I was even trying to get one to use the main highway, but you know, he said no.
No, they don't allow.
Yeah, they don't allow them
areas,
to go certain areas. So let them look at the short distance. Maybe that could help address the issue. But it's a controversial issue as well. It's a controversial issue because at some point it was the issue around licensing and whether even
using private number plates
for
commercial purposes.
Yeah, so there are a lot of. I mean, in this country we have so many things to regulate.
That's what, we don't even know where to start from.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nice to say like sometimes we behave like headless chickens, but I mean, sometimes in my corner, that's what I see. We move from here, jump in there. You know, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating.
A lot of things happening at the same time.
Yeah, and so you don't know where to focus and all that. But as society must be able to address problems as we emerge.
What's your take on Lawyer Dabo being the party flag bearer of UDP again? I mean, from '96 to date.
Well, to congratulate him because he was elected by his party. For me, like I said, I mean, internal party democracy is internal party democracy, and it is the people within the political party that have the right to choose who they want. And then when it comes to the national election, then all of us now can decide. So maybe just to congratulate him that his party believe he should be the one to lead them, and it went through a democratic process. People can argue on many bases, but for the party it works, and since that works for the party, for me I have no issue with that. You know, I like to give political parties the freedom, the leeway to do their stuff as long as it is within the democratic. If they want to build consensus, say compromise, let's sit down, I am interested, you're interested, they negotiate and somebody comes in, that's part of the process as well. I have no issue with that.
It works for other people, but it seems to not work for many people because we've seen recently the massive resignation from the UDP party.
Yeah, so people, if they're dissatisfied with the process, I mean, like it's political parties are voluntary organization. So it's not like, you know, like you have to be part of it by force or you have to stay there. If you find that you disagree with the party, I mean, you can leave. You can leave and, you know, join anything that you want to join. So for me, resignations are part of the process. People will come, people will leave, and that's part of the political process. So for me, those issues are the most basics when it comes to politics, partisan politics, that people need to accept. So when they resign, they resign. It's, I mean, it's their decision. So of course, in the broader analysis, people will look at it as, you know, perhaps as a, you know, a way of the party losing its popularity. That okay, they are. People are leaving and all that, but a political party must be able to survive. Yes. You know, if you're not able to survive as a political party, you don't deserve to exist. True. And so, for me, that's the basis.
Thank you, Seth Matijau, for reviewing these stories with us. It's always interesting when you and Mar Nyang are here. Mar was here yesterday, and was a very interesting session as well. You know, and thank you very much, said Mati, and we hope to engage you more in the future. We want to dedicate Wednesdays for you if you are in this country.
Yes, that should be possible. But only Mondays and Thursdays now. I am back at the university teaching. But if not, this is part of our job. I mean, our job is to engage and discuss with the public, and so we're always happy. Always happy to be part of that. Yeah.
All right. So viewers, will take a short break. After the break, we'll engage Alhaji Usman Jah, Imam at the Taqwa Mosque, on Islam and politics. Quite very interesting session. We'll be back.
Kiu money aning orange money ye bulodi nyola pour ka kodi kio sone yandi ka bonan Gambia banko kan kata Senegal banko kan aning Kiu money wallet e ka mune batu e muna fan Kiu money account wala sign pour ka dati ka kodoki e terimal anila dimbayal kana aning orange money Senegal ni lafta ku senengo sotola je Kiu money customer care kumandi 133 Kiu money sunyu kalpe nying sartolle bala.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Banking the smart way with the new Aji Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Aji Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner. Q Money ak Orange Money ñoo lëkkaloo pour yombalal leen yónnee xaalis bàyyi ko Gambia dem ba Sénégal ak Q Money wallet looy toog di xaar dawal léegi nga ubbi Q Money account pour nga mun a door di yónnee xaalis sa xarit ak sa mbokk yi jaarale ko Orange Money Sénégal léegi pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call Q Money customer care si 133 Q Money suñu kalpe lii dafa ànd ak sarta yuñ tëral. Q Money e Orange Money joni weɓini nuldugol mbuuɗi mi yetoma joni hiɗa wawi nuldude mbuuɗi iwra ko Gambia ɗo yaha Sénégal e Q Money wallet ma on eyyi ko honno wonɗa e fadde mi yetoma udduto Q Money account ma on joni fuɗɗoɗa nuldude mbuuɗi e teriɓe ma rewa ɗon ka Orange Money nder Sénégal fi heɓugol hen ko laaɓi hiɗa wawi noddude Q Money customer care e 133 Q Money suñu kalpe ɗum no yaadi e sartaji.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Good morning. We are back. You're watching QTV this morning. ñu mbokk yi di leen jaajëfal di leen ne delsi nañ si programme bi comme nuñ leen ko waxee lu ñoo discuss mooy Islam and politics te ku ñoo dimbale si waxtaan boobu mooy Alhaji Ousmane Jah from the Takwa Mosque of the Gambia. moom moo ñoo jàppale ñu mun a waxtaan lan la islam wax si politics ndax politique loolu bokk na si islam ndax bokkul si islam so waxtaan bu am solo la ñoo digmal si ni ñu ngi laa dalal imam
bismillahi rahmani rahim Mr Weltare ñu ngi am mbégte ci invitation bi di nuyu sa natango di soxna Julde julde Njaay. I'm so sorry. Very unfortunate. Julde definitely ba moo gën a match. waaye daal xaaral ñu wax julde Njaay. anyway ñu ngi leen di nuyu viewers yi ci biir ak ci biti réew mi di nuyu ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci caméra yeeg ñi nekk ci xarala gi. ak waa kër gi yëpp ak waa réew mi yëpp. di ñaan suñ borom subhanahu wa taala lépp lu fi génn rek. dëppoog li ko neex.
so tey topic bu am solo la ñoo waxtaane li segment la boo xam ne bugga nañ koo def every Wednesday pour ñuy waxtaan ndaxte lépp loo gis si suñ dundin islam daf si am gis-gis kon am na solo lool ñu indi topic bi tey islam and politics la ñoo waxtaan waaw xam nga soo ne islam mu ngi mel ni nit ñi dañoo ne ok islam moom si lu mu nekk luñ war a def mooy jaamu yàlla julli ba pare def lu baax ñun suñ focus loolu la dem hajj ñëw ba pare dox mbokk ak yooyu noonu waaye politique moom politique bokk na si islam imam
waaw jërëjëf weltaare xam naa nag tudd gi nga tudd topic bi ci boppam ku am xel ku koy déglu kumu da nga xam ne lii du waxi benn fan du waxi ñaari fan mbir mu yaatu la pour nga mën cee génnee njëriñ loo xam ne nit ñi dinañ ko mën a digest islam religion la suñ ne religion mooy loo xam ne yàlla moo ko prescribal boppam ne maa leen fi indi jaamu leen ma nii laa bëgg ngeen jaamoo ma loolu mooy islam in general waaye ci dégg ni nit ñi dafa naaro islam dañoo naj l'islam xatal ko emale ko rek ci mbiru spiritual acts maanaam jëfi spirit foofu rek lañ ko takk léegi moo tax bi ngay joxe misaal sax wane nga ne l'islam tudd nga fi ay julleeg ay aj Makka tudd ponki l'islam yi li ëpp ci nit ñi tey soo ne l'islam rek dañoo ko takk ci mbiru jaamu yàlla waaye islam bi yàlla wàccee ci Muhammad sallallahu taala alayhi wa sallam ëpp na loolu islam boobu mooy total way of life soo ko buggee takk bu jegeñ amul lenn lu doomu aadama yi def amul lenn luy xew te duhut ne islam am na ci kàddu islam amal na ko yitte te bàyyi na ko xel te am na ci tëralin am na ci lu muy nangu am na ci lu muy bañ kooku mooy cosaanu lislaam waaye nag diine joo gis dafay am ay ponk mooy ay pillars yoo xam ne mooy dafa am foundation bi nga xam ne ci la ñuy bil tabax bi dafa war a am ay pillars war naa am itam ay mool ay palanteer ak i bunt structure bi noonu la demee moo tax l'islam bi mu ñëwee moom foundation am mooy imaan mooy il faut nga njëkk a nangul yàllaam gi ne moom moo la fi indi moo la fi def te it moom rek nga war a jaamu soo ko nangulee ba pare ci la lay doora sant ne la jaamu ma sant googu mu di la sant jaamu ma loolu moo indi pillars of Islam waaw bu njëkk bi mooy foundation bi ñu di ko tuddee pillars of iman bu ñaareel bi mooy structure bi lañ commencé pour yëkkati mooy pillars yi te mooy pillars of Islam pillars of Islam juróom rekk la waaye in between ay jëfang fa yoo xam ne benn bu ci ne dafa am value waaye dañoo sutante waaye juróom yooyu mooy yi nga xam ne ki ko nangoo def bokk nga ci biir kër gi waaye ku ko nangu te def nga génn yi nekk in between nag soo ko defut doo siiw ci kër gi doo fi xeej waaye soo ko defee kon yow mun nga nekk sax ci leader si waaw am na ci yoo xam ne nag def gi ak ñàkk gee def ñooyam ci lislaam su ma la ko bëggoon a jox ci building tey building bu amut foundation xam nga ne munta tabax
waaw
bu amut pillars itam munta dem su amut wall moom mook pila ñoo yem atte ndax wall bi su fa nekkut tuddagut building palanteer mën ngaa dëkk ci néeg te du am palanteer maanaam dafa am loo xam ne nécessité lañ koy tuddee nga xam ne forcé mu am feeg amut nangam bi du am waaye am na nit ñuy dëkk ci néeg yoo xam ne du am palanteer te du am bunt te ñu ngi fa dëkk waaye da nga gis ne bon bunt ak palanteer lu am solo la ruuf su amul loolu mënta tudd néeg peinture balañse raax yooyu yëpp mën naa ñàkk ci néeg te du tere mu tudd néeg ñu dëkk fa soo lislaam itam noonu la mel ci jëfam yi naka lañ gën a amee solo ok soo ñëwee ci politique li dal islam daf ko dal mooy moom itam turam dafa yàqoo ba suñ ne politique rek képp nit ku set wala nit ku baax da nga koy sib doo ko bugg a jegeñ waaye loolu du politique a ko mel de waaye dañ ko taqal dafa mel ni mbir mu baax mu ne nit mun na koo taqal lu bon ba soo sàgganee da ngay foog ne moom ci boppam moo bon waaye déedéet luñ ko taqal la dañ ko war a raxas rek génnee ko fa danay xew ci lu nekk ci diine ak ci lu nekk politique ci cosaanam du lenn lu dut mbooloom policies yu ñuy manage xam nga yàlla bim tabaxee doomu aadama daf ko tabaxee xol ak xel ak jëmma te benn bu ci ne dafa am lu koy manage ba pare mu tabax benn nit benn ba pare tabax société ay mbooloo tabax kër tabax dëkk tabax réew léegi benn fuñ boolantooyee dafa war a am policy ay guidelines ay rules ay regulations yoo xam ne moo leen di govern pour ñu mën a dund ci jàmm ok léegi nag policies yooyu nga xam ne tëral nañ ko niñ ko manager mooy politique maanaam soo ñëwoon tey ci QCell for exemple am nañ policy télévision bi am na policy for exemple waaye léegi manager bi ban yoon lay jaar pour mu implement policy bi loolu mooy politique waaw yoon wi ngay jaar pour implement policy
waaw
pour mu dox loolu mooy politique waaye lële tëral nañ ko ba pare kon politique mënta ñàkk forcé la te tur biñ ko taqal wala lu ñaaw liñ ko taqal dëkku fa dañ ko raxas waaye nag fi ne ñaawaay bi daanaka dafa not lu rafet li léegoo dafa mel ni dafa chronique léegoo léegi am feebar buy dugg mbir mu dem ba mujj lu chronique ba mu xoomaak ba mel ni dara baaxatu fa noonu la politique mel tey maanaam tey suñ ne politique rek ci li ëpp ci léemeen yi ñi nga xam ne ay léemeen lañ
waaw
dañuy jàpp ne fenkat lañ
ñun soo ne politique dañoo xalaat wax loo munut
waaw
dige loo munut a def
même fi ne nii sax da ngay gis nit koo xam ne dafay dige lu mënoon wala dafay fen ñu ne kii politicien la
waaw politicien la
kii politicien la
politicien yi wax
loolu
rek
c'est un insult
waaw waaye because ñoom ñoo am nañu tilimal politique bi te politique ab yoon la boo xam ne pour jaar si nga mun a def dara oo am dara waaw
léegi li taqal politique politiciens yi ñoo ko def parce que feebar bi ñi koy def ñoo ko def ñoo ko teg because yàlla lépp lum liggéey daf ko liggéey mu set clean baax waaye ki koy jëfandikoo moo koy tilimal moo koy yàq ok li tax léegi nit ñi bëggatuñ politique wala lu ëpp ci nit ñi nga xam ne dañoo set wala dañoo baax bëggatuñ politique mooy tilim yi ci ne nga gis ne li ëppa ci politicien dañoo amee jikkoy naafeq fam tàmbalee ba tey nag parce que waxtaan bi bu gudd lay doon fam tàmbalee ba tey dafay am jikkoy naafeq maanaam nangam ji laa bugg a jot place bii laa bugg a àgg lépp lu ma mun a def ba àgg fa rek dagan na pour ma def ko pour ma mën faa àgg maanaam boobu moom la ñuy tuddee algaayatu tubarrirul wasila maanaam àgg fa ma jëm day daganal means yi maa jëfandikoo yoon wi may jëfandikoo pour man fa àgg su fekkee ne yoon wi ngay jaar pour àgg fa dafa laaj rey nit da nga koo rey su fekkee dafa laaj ma fen damay fen
waaw
su fekkee dafay laaj ma sàcca damay sàcca su fekkee damay laaj ma tanish deru as gor dama koy def
da nga koo tanis
yes su fekkee dafa laaj ma palaanal ko defal ko trap dugal ko ci ba dootul jarati dara dama koy def
waaw moo léegi islam lan la wax si loolu
of course wax naa la ne yii ñooy tilim yi nga xam ne moo surround baatu politique ba tax ñu bëri ragal ko of course dafa xaraam because waxin la wax la boo xam ne yàgg na fi mooy waxu algaayatu barriril wasila mooy destination dafa justify means maanaam bugg a àgg barab sàngam dafa justify ngay jëfandikoo any mean pour mën faa àgg loolu dafa rong foo mun a dem islam dafa bàyyi xel ne yoon wi nga war a jaar ba àgga fi ngay dem dafa war a nekk yoon boo xam ne yoon bu sell la yoon bu baax la yoon bu dagan la kii ne déedéet man ndem fi ma bugg a àgga fu baax la kay man kon mën naa jëfandikoo miin bu ma neex pour ma mën a àgg fi ma jëm su ma la mënoon a jox tey politique ci nim tëddee tey te loolu danañ ci àggi dafa mel ni dafa am benn garab guñ jëmbat di ko suuxat ba mu commencé meññ meññeen mi nag réew mi yépp ci lañ war a lekk waaye meññeen mi du rotal boppam te kenn mënu ko lonk il faut nit mooy éeg
si kaw
muy dog di lekk di dog di rotalal nit ñi waaye nit itam du fa mun a éeg mukk feeg nit ñi ci suuf jàppale wuñ ko toñuñ ko dañ lay toñ ba nga éeg ñoom nag ñu toog ci suuf di xaar ngay dog di lekk di dog di rotal léegi yow bi nga buggee ñu éegal la da ngay dig nit ñi ne éegal leen ma dimbale leen ma man su ma demee dama leen di rotalal yéen ñëpp ngeen lekk ba suur ba desal waaw dara du fi manqué nit ñi gëm la ñu dal di la tooñ éegal la nga dem ba àgg commencé di dog di lekk
ngay rotal benn comme benn rek nga rotal
soo rotalee benn ñu njëkkalante ko
waaw nga toog
ñu njëkkalante ko di nga maam di xuloo ñunu neen sa nga toogaat
waaw xam nga politicien bi sax loolu moo ko dee nee
toogaat
dafa rotal de waaye benn rek mooy rot
waaw toogaat wala nga seet ki nga rotalal
waaw nga ne ko taxawal bor bëre ma
waaw nga rotalal ko su ko defee moom mu lekk ñeneen ñi di ñeetaate su ko defee ñoomu neen ñu nekk di xuloo ok ñii suñ disparité lan mooy xew su fekkee ñi nga xam ne ñoom la ñuy rotalal ñi ci suuf
waaw
xiif nañu rotalaatuloo leen.
dañoo gor bant
desperate nañ léegi how do.
dañoo gor guy.
good li ci ëpp dañuy gor buy. su taxutoon ak démocratie biñ indi nii. te loolu danaa si ñëw. ne ok dafa kiñ éegal dafa toog taam boobu nag nañ ko may mu toog.
mu wàcca
lim def ndax neex nañu. wala neexuñu
nañ ko may ba time bi jot.
nañ ko xaar ba time bi jot. rek
waaye dafa fekk ñu si suuf xiif nañ.
moom la maa ngi ñëw.
ñooñu xiif nañ de.
maa ngi ñëw.
waaw.
démocratie laa la wax lim indi. dafa wax ne léegi comme que kiñ éegal taam la fay toog ab diir. te diir bi bu jotee forcé dana wàcc. su wàcc dañ koy force mu wàcc. kon diir boobu nañ muñ nag bu ko kenn jam xeer. bu ko kenn lonk bu ko kenn def dara. waaye loolu dafa fekk ne nit ñi ci suuf despareetuñ su fekkee dem nañ ba gis na fi ne dund ak dee la because lekkatuñ dund ak dee loolu mooy waral ñenn ñi di gor garab gi gor garab gi su ko defee garab gi daanu
desperation
waaw desperation moo leen fa day dugal te loolu pure mooy politique wala nga xam ne dañuy toog rek su fekkee nit ñuñ mën a muñ la ñu ne dañuy muñ rek ñu toog noonu xaar wala kooku nga xam ne moo nekk ci kaw am ay militants ci suuf ñi ci suuf ñoo xam ne ñu bari doole la ñuy doon mu di leen rotalal ñuy lekk ñeneen ñi duñ lekk te ñoom ku ci wax yow ñu sàng la suuf yow dootoo feeñati loolu soo xoolee lii dox ci àddina bi rawatina suñ third world bi li ci ëpp yëpp nii la politique di demee waaw mu waroon a nekk nag lu yomb lool sellu lool te kenn du am problème ndax doomu aadama mooy ki gën a civilisé ci li yàlla liggéey
waaw
te soo xoolee rab yi yàlla liggéey forcé ñu am leadership bépp organisation bépp society forcé leadership dafa war a am su leadership amul dara du dox forcé mu am kuy jiitu am ñuy toppa waaye based on rules and regulations and conditions yi nga xam ne moo leen di govern kon ñun war nañoo mën a nangu war nañoo mën a am xel defar suñuy policies ba pare ut ku ñu ko political ku ñu ko manéjal dégg nga su ko defee kooku ñu jox la orma jox la support jox la ndimbal waaye kooku itam war a bàyyi xel ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci suuf ndax mbir yëpp mën a dem loolu mooy definition of Islam and definition of politics.
So Imam, Islamic leadership lan la mean si 21st century bi ak tamit tey soo suñ naree xool islam lu mel ak démocratie ndax islam mi ngoon ak démocratie
waaw démocratie suñ la koy définal mooy rule of law démocratie du dara lu dul rule of law meaning mbooloo mu dajee mumu dañuy am lu leen di govern ay laws yu leen di govern laws yooyu yi leen di govern dañuy am ñuñ ko teg ci seen loxo for exemple dañuy am lu ñu tudde executive am judiciary ak ñay liggéey law bi good su fekkee ne laws yi nga xam ne moom lañ tëral te ñun ñëpp ñu d'accord ci nga di ko implémenter niñ ko tëralee loolu mooy l'islam loolu l'islam amu ci benn problème of course yes because ñun dañuy dund ci 20th century la ñuy dund nekkuñ second century nekkuñ ci jamono bi nga xam ne dañuy dëkk ci doj yi di éeg ci garab yi doomu aadama dafay dund di yokku suuf si dafay dund di yokku mbir yi dafa war a soppeeku duñ jël na gouvernement daan doxee ca jamono yooya ñu ne noonu la gouvernement di doxee ci jamono yi te islam su principle sam si suñ ko munee achieve li ci des yëpp daf koy nangu ndax islam li ko yitteel mooy dafa am key principles yoo xam ne du ko bàyyi gannaaw mooy leadership gi dafa war a jëfandikoo li ñuy tuddee shura mooy mutual consultation meaning ki ci kanam waruta def dara lu dul ne dafa déggoo ak ñi ci gannaaw déggoo boobu ci suñ modern governments yi dañ ko yombal mooy dañoo fexe ba defar bind ay loi ñu di ko tuddee constitution ak yeneen laws yi nga xam ne ak acts yi nga xam ne mooy govern mbooloo yi ki nga xam ne moo nekk ci kanam ak façon yi kanam bu manti doon moom lañ ko sant mooy mu implement liñ tëral te ñun ñëpp ñoo ci d'accordoon tëral ko soo foofu jaratut moom buy bugg a def dara muy delluwaat di consult déedéet because def nañ consultation ba pare tëral nañ rules ak regulations yi ba pare yow dara desewut la pour lu dul nga implement li ngay def daan nanga ko teg foofu kooku mooy shura soo ñëwee ci islamic government ca ba muy tàmbali ci foofu la tàmbalee woon booba binda lii ñuy binda tey ñu di ko tuddee naka lañ ko tuddee constitution ak yooyu tuddutoon noonu waaye shura la tuddoon alquranul karim li mu wax mooy wa amruhum shura baynahum maanaam am mbooloo suñuy ànd lii tax ànd bi mën a neex mooy consultation mutual consultation mooy ñi ci kanam nañuy diisoo ak ñi ci gannaaw balaa ñoo def dara ñaareeli principle bi mooy li ñu tuddee justice mooy adala te mooy justice melo la ci melo yàlla yi yàlla mooy alxakamu al adl moo tax melo woowu képp koo xam ne jëfandikoo nga ko ci lu manti doon dangaa advance dangaa dem kanam doo dellu gannaaw mukk justice fu mu privé foofa dafay dem kanam du dem gannaaw su eboo seen borom gëm yàlla gëmuñ ko topp yàlla toppuñ ko ndem yaa ngi am justice dafa maanaam jàmm dafa privé développement dafa privé lépp dafa digga sax dafa dem ci kanam kenn mënta tere ba loolu dem ci kanam kooku mooy ñaareeli principle bi nga xam ne bépp structure wala government boo xam ne day dox ci l'islam noonu la ko gisee moom forcé ñu bàyyi ko xel waaye lan mooy justice justice yi day dellu ci li njëkkoon a wax ci shura justice soo déggee ñu naan justice mooy dafa am lu fi nekk ba pare fu dara nexut mënuñ faa tuddee justice kooku dafa nit kuy jëfandikoo xelaatam la rek jàpp ne lii moo gën ma def ko mën naa baax mën naa ñàkk a baax waaye su fekkee ne ñun ñi nga xam ne ñoo la fi teg ñun ñoo toog waxtaan ne loi yii moo ñoo govern ñu dénk la ko nag jox la ko yow ci sa loxo ne nang ñu govern based on loi yi nga xam ne moom lañ la jox nga defee ko noonu loolu mooy justice te justice boobu am branche bu ñuy tuddee musaawa musaawa mu ngi juddoo ci justice mooy equality equal treatment loolu forcé ñu mën koo def maanaam justice dafa war a mut ci ni nga xam ne noonu nga koy defee def nga mbir mi waaye defee nga ko ni nga ko war a defee itam so du ne danga am ñooy seppi bàyyi ñi for exemple soo ñëwee ci islamic government doo fa fekk nepotism for exemple maanaam diw sàngam dafa amee position bi because suma papa ak papaam xaritam lañ woon wala suma yaay suma doomi tante la wala suma nangam non islam déedéet islam kii amee position bi mooy ki ko mën a amee ki amee position bi mooy ki ko mën a amee ak ku manti doon because alali réew mi ñëpp a ko bokk kon ki ko mën a amee rek moom moo koy mën a amee bu boobaa yow yaa ngi def justice ba pare doo néewal doole benn groupe natteekaay bi daal mooy fan la dëkk maanaam ban territoire la nekk ndem su fekkee réewum Gambie la su fekkee réewum Amérique la su réew mu manti doon daal ndem Gambien la wala américaine la wala nangam yen fa mu bokk daal kon la fa ne lépp ñëpp ñooñu ñoom ñoo ko bokk amul xejj amul seen ku nekk am na ci sañ-sañ nga gis su fekkee jëfandikoo nga loolu dafa stabilise réew ma daf ko stabilise ba pare daf ko develop because naka opposite stabilisation
waaw
mooy lan
destabilise waaw
mooy destabilise dara du baax su boobaa it wàllu économie bi wàllu social ak économie bu nekk dafa am nga defal ko policy boo xam ne ñun ñoo koy tëral rëddalal suñ bopp te ñun ñëpp ñoo ciy d'accord rëdd suñ policy ba pare ñu dénk la ko ne suñ économie nii lay tëddee waaye fekk ñu nit balaa ñoo rëdd loolu yow yaa ñu ko dikk xam nga balaa ñu laa toñ nga éeg ci kaw garab gi
waaw
il faut nga teg dara ci suñ loxo I'm sorry il faut nga dig ñu dara
dang ñu dig waaw
dang ñu dig ne ok man de su ngeen ma éegalee danaa leen rotalal ngeen lekk xam nga loolu ci wàllu économie la danaa fexe danaa defar ay yoon for exemple danaa tabax ay hospital for exemple danaa tabax universities infrastructure bi dinaa ko defar wàllu health wàllu education yëpp nga dig ñu ko ba pare ñu defaral nag yi ñu dig noonu benn bu ci ne ñu defar ko policy I'm so sorry su ko defee na yow boo éegee ba pare policy yooyu nga xam ne moom lañ tëral ci yi ñu digoon nga defar ko ni nga xam ne nga implement ko comme ni nga xam ne noonu nga ñu ko diggee woon loolu mooy dëgëral mooy justice te justice boobu mooy indi stability mooy indi ak dal mooy tax nit ñi seen xel yi daal
léegi imam yi ok go ahead
ko am na solo trop because wax nga ne politique si boppam waa nit ñi ñoo tax mu tilim te gis nañ ne tilim boobu noonu sax léegi fu mu nekk nii nit ñi ñu ngi try pour tilimal islam tamit di wéeru si politics because soo gisee lu nekk di happen in other countries jihadism extremism and all of that dañ ko dee attribute si islam so naka la ñoo mën a sépier loolu génnee ko
ok xam nga ñaari mbir dafi am benn nga islamize politique wala nga politique naka politicize islam ñaar yooyu ñoo fi am islamize politique is acceptable waaye politicize islam is not acceptable is unacceptable because islam lim bugga mooy politique lu am la ba pare waaye islam joxul ñu spécifique wée boo xam ne noonu lañ koy defee déedéet islam daf ñu bàyyee suñ bopp naka la ñuy manager suñ bopp naka la ñuy gouverner suñ bopp loolu yàlla daf ñu ko bàyyee doo dem ci alquran mukk mu wax la nit ñi naka lañ war a manager seen bopp dafa indi rek ay principle indil nañu comme li ma la wax shura mutual consultation indil nañu adala justice indil nañu accountability indil nañu rule of law yooyu ay benn lañ yoo xam ne islam tudd na ko together soo leen boolantee foofu ñun bu ñuy bil suñ politique wala suñ policies foofu lañ koy tabax su boobaa comme que politique moom mu ngi fi te dafa war a am ndax nit ñi dañuy yokk di bare xew-xew yi day yokk il faut que ñu war a defar ay rules ak i policies yoo xam ne moom moo ñuy govern kon nga fexe ba islamise politique boobu loolu islam daf ciy kontaan mooy nga fexe ba ni ñuy gouverner mu dëppoo ak principles yi ñu islam tëralal lu demee ni shura lu demee ni accountability lu demee ni rule of law ak yu ni demee loolu islam daf ciy kontaan of course waaye islam du kontaan ci nga politicize islam and fii nag fi la problème bi de ma ñëw
léegi benn mbir boo xam ne daal ñu ngi ko doon wax si gannaaw tuuti
for exemple ma mottali la politicize islam ñaaran koy def nit ki nga xam ne islam la am waaye ci la moom la bugg a def waruwaay pour mu àgga fam bugg a àgga islam mbubba la mu muy sol pour mu nekk waruwaayam pour mu mën a àgg ci leadership comme mooy da nga politicize islam am na for exemple soo jëlee ci réewi Afrique yi li fi dee xew masalan li xewoon Mali yu demee noonu ñu di leen tuddi ay jihadis ñooñu ci suma giseen ñoom naka islamaay suñ politique waaye dañoo politicize islam why because Mali is a Muslim state loolu no doubt Muslim state la mu ngi bokk OIC di high majority xaw ma sax ndax ñoom am nañ non muslim waaye lu mën a xew ñoo sut sax Gambia ci percentage
Muslim population
kon ñoom muslim kii lañ amee
it's an Islamic state waaw
Muslim state there is some difference between Muslim state and Islamic state.
Okay.
Muslim state mooy state boo xam ne majority of citizens Muslim lañ.
So Gambia is a Muslim state.
Yes. Islamic state mooy state boo xam ne
doxalini lu Islam
the constitution.
Sorry about that.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right. It's important for us to know the difference. Islamic state, Muslim state. Wow.
Islamic state mooy state boo xam ne laws yi and rules and regulations everything dañ ko base ci islam.
Sharia.
Okay.
ci sharia foofu lañ ko jëlee mooy Islamic state. fi ne nag àddina bi Muslim state moo fi ëpp. su ma eboone sax there is no Islamic state.
Muslim state moo bëri waaw
pio yombut ak koo fi mun a tudd. forcé ñu jël ci fii boolante. kon Islamic state moo fi ëpp. su fekkee Mali Muslim state la. foo toll jumaa yaa ngi jàkka yaa ngi. daara alquran yaa ngi. lépp a ngi fees. nga ñëw nga ne dama taxawal Islamic state. Is that an Islamic state? Islamic state soo koy taxawal state bi ngay daane dafa war a nekk paganisme dafa war a nekk réew moo xam ne islam amu fa.
waaw.
nga ñëw nga taxawal fa islam comme ni nga xam ne ci jamonoy saxaaba yi ridwanullahi taala anhum ajmain noonu lañ daan def dañ daan ubbee dañ daan yaatal islam dem ci réew moo xam ne du réewam l'islam ñu fexe ba naxanteeg seeni borom ba mu mujj nekk réewam l'islam Gambie ci la bokk dañoo naxanteeg ñun bañ fi ne ñu nekk Muslim state Sénégal Guinée ñii ñëpp fi ne Muslim state lañ te bu njëkk nekkuñu woon Muslim state te naxante lañ ko defee génneewuñ jaasi tuuruñ deret waaye ci naxante bañ mën a nekk kon su ay nit jógee fële ñëw ne dañuy taxawal Islamic State ci réew moo xam ne réewum islam la man mënuma understand loolu
dëgg la léegi mu ngi mel ni
ñooñu dañoo
waaw
politicize islam
suñ time bi jeex
waaye islam ay suñ politique
thank you very much imam kontaan nañ trop si sa ñëw bi lii dinañ ko defaat Wednesday buy ñëwaat incha allah dañoo continuer ñu gën a indi ay topic tam pour waxtaane ko ndaxte lii waxtaan bu am solo la because ñun xamuñu the difference between Islam ak Muslim state Islamic state and Muslim state so thank you for giving us the difference Julde this is all we have jërëjëf imam yes viewers until then do have a wonderful day bye bye